Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic. We want you to be a part of the show. All you got to do is go to facebook.com/3blackguyswithamic and let us know your opinion on this episode, past episode, and future episodes. Leave a comment on our Facebook page at facebook.com/3blackguyswithamic and we'll read your comments on the show. Whoever you agree with or whoever you disagree with, it's no holds barred. So let us know your opinion and leave a comment on our Facebook page at facebook.com/3blackguyswithamic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of shit.
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
You said that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one, okay?
Are you drinking, man?
I don't know.
Are you drinking?
I don't even understand how you could even put Common and Bob Marley and Marvin Gaye, and even Marvin Gaye in the same.
Who's on your iPhone, iPad? Who's in your playlist right now? That ain't saying this.
Maynard, I know you a little bit on the right, and Lamont, I know you got that country club lifestyle. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. This episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic is being brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has changed the value game all over again. Today, grab yourself a 4 for $4. A juicy junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT, large fry, 4-piece nugget, and a drink. You can always get it fresh, never frozen, at a participating Wendy's. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now let's start the show.
What's up, Karlos? How you doing, sir?
What's up, dude?
How you guys doing? I love y'all show. It's amazing. It literally, I just did a trip from Florida to Washington, and y'all got me through 16 hours per day.
What?
I started from one to the current, and I got through it. Plus a couple other podcasts that I checked out, and a couple of your friends that I checked out too. But yeah, I love y'all's podcast. It's really amazing. But I reached out to Spud because there are a couple of times I'm listening. I'm just like, oh, I just wish I could just be in one of their ears and just oh, that's not quite right. But I like how you guys really respect the community, like you say, the gay mafia. Because they are out there, it is real. But I like how you do that. But I think someone needs to step up too, so you can speak about this. So now you can open up that conversation. And if y'all have questions, I'm not trying to say I'm going to represent the gay community, but at least if you have more questions, I can give you my opinion,
Karlos, on this show, this is about me outshining everyone, including the guests. So we love and respect everyone, but I need the most shine, and the microphone and Santa Claus are real sensitive issues with me. So
Okay. I'll let you have those.
Thank you, sir.
So Karlos, man, what you sipping on, homie?
I'm sipping on actually my friend makes this here in Washington. It's red wine. It's called 13 Murders. It's really good. It's such a good wine. And she sell it actually at Trader Joe's. So if you want some, you can go pick some up.
Anyway, so welcome back to another episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic. We are honored to be joined by Karlos Dillard, the conservative gay atheist. And,
yeah, got her.
Carlos reached out to us because
Who's black?
He is black. And he reached out to us because he listened to his our podcast, which we are truly honored that Carlos listens to our podcast, and he reached out and he said, you know what, I love what you guys are doing, but there are some things that we definitely want to continue to address. So Carlos, let's just kind of start out with the conservative gay atheist thing, because I want to kind of see if I can take those three things and kind of dissect them, so let's start with the conservative part from a political perspective. So as a conservative, you lean more towards the right and you lean more toward the Republican views?
It has nothing to do with politics, and that's the problem.
Okay.
Let me ask you, what do you consider conservativeness?
I consider conservativeness, and Maynard is our, political junkie here. I consider conservativeness more from a Republican perspective. That's what when I think of conservative, I think of Republican.
Okay, so when I think of conservative, I think of someone who believes in a 2-parent family, who believes in diversity in their community, but ultimately supporting the community. When I think of conservative, I believe in getting married one time. I've been married for 6 years. Divorce is never on the table. Just like those core values, almost like church core values, if you just take out the God.
So you feel like you're a social conservative. You're not talking about fiscal conservative or hawkish policies on
fiscal conservatives. I don't believe in welfare. I don't believe in food stamps. I don't believe in just handing out free money. So fiscally, I'm also conservative. I'm also an entrepreneur, so I think that also has a lot to do with it. I work too hard just to be paying taxes. I have to pay federal taxes for my business, but like paying federal taxes personally really bothers me because it's like you're getting me twice. And these people are out here just getting like free money. And I know a lot of people need it. And I grew up, and here's the catch. I was a foster child. I grew up in Detroit. I grew up on 6 Mile. Like we were poor as fuck. So I understand it, but I also understand it. None of them hoes were going to work on purpose. So like.
Wait, whoa. All right. Okay, 6 Mile, homie. Now, when we say those hoes,
oh, my mother's not a hoe today.
We're talking about Palmer Park. We're talking about Palmer Park.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My mother's not a hoe today. She's a very well-kept woman. Like, I love her to death. But in 1992, they were out there hoeing. Like, they were hoes. Like, they were hoes. They were thotting and popping.
Wait, but Carlos, we just getting started. Let's unpack that. Please, my brother. My 6 Mile brother. Let's unpack hoeing on 6 Mile. What does that mean?
We know when we drive down Woodward Avenue.
I'm not talking about prostitutes. I would call them a prostitute. By hoeing, I mean someone who should be at home taking care of their children, but are thotting about in and out of clubs, and then getting their kids in and out of foster care, and then complaining when their food stamps and their subsidies get taken away, and blame the children. So I'm not talking about prostitutes. I mean that's a sex worker. I don't have a problem with sex workers. I have a problem with women not taking care of their children.
Whoa, Carlos.
Have we ever put a guest in the penalty box?
Come on. I've been in the penalty box so many times with so many people because I have strong beliefs.
Flag on the play.
What have I said wrong?
Nothing. You funny, man.
I have thick skin.
A conservative who is in favor of women selling their bodies for money is just not something that I would put in a conservative box.
But why not? The conservative means you take care of your own first. It means to conserve. It means to literally to conserve. So I can't be conservative if I'm worried about everybody else's business. And that's what people get it mixed up when it comes to politics, because they always similarize conservative with Republican. I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. Nor am I this Bernie Sanders shit. I look at each candidate individually and I make the best decision for my personal life because I need to conserve my family. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So does that mean that you voted for Donald Trump or you did not?
I did vote for Donald Trump.
Whoa!
Because let me ask you this before I take any questions. Any other president since the first president, we still been black. Donald Trump has not changed anything for the black man. He has not done anything that the president, that Bush didn't do, that Clinton didn't do, that Barack didn't do. Honestly, like I love Barack, he was my boy, but he's not going to do anything that hasn't already been done to us. What he will do is he might help me with my business taxes. I might get a business loan, which I can't seem to do. I have almost 750 credit score. I know that's not much to you guys, but I'm only 24. So straight out of college with a 750 credit score with my own business, and I do this full time. That means the world to me that someone could give me the opportunity to launch my business and make it bigger. You know, it has nothing that I know he's a fucking asshole when it comes to calling women, grabbing them by the pussies and everything that y'all gonna throw at me. I understand that. But guess what? He didn't grab me by the pussy. He didn't grab my sister.
Carlos, do me a favor. Carlos, hold on 1 second. We just want to make sure you don't take this over. So, Spud, let's be clear. We're in the first few minutes of the podcast. We're gonna have to talk.
Are we recording this?
We're gonna have to talk to our program director because Carlos is gonna have to sign a waiver to make sure that he is not an employee of Three Black Guys in the Mic. So
he's not part of Herbcaster.
Yeah, so when we start to get letters and emails and texts from some of the big people, Carlos, we feeling your energy. We loving you. But, we just have a few restraints.
Oh no!
So Carlos, let me ask you this. Carlos, in regards to your point about Donald Trump and any other president not doing anything in regards to the black community, because Puffy came out and he said we don't need to look for Donald Trump to do anything. He said he didn't have a problem with Donald Trump. He don't have any personal issues with Donald Trump, but I don't expect for Donald Trump to do anything for the black community. So, from a conservative perspective, are you saying that the black community needs to learn how to take care of itself?
Exactly. And not only itself, each other. I don't just walk to talk. Like yesterday, I was just marching with Black Lives Matter. 2 weeks ago when Charlene Lyles, or 3 weeks ago when Charlene Lyles got shot here in Washington and Seattle, I was out there marching. But you know what the problem is? The problem is they're marching on different things. Like yesterday, it was hands up, don't shoot us. It's just a pin because some Asian guy and people literally spread away from me because I literally have banners that says shoot at me, I shoot back. Second Amendment rights, Black Guns Matter. And everyone doesn't want to support that message. And I get on my blowhorn and I say, hey, you can stick together. I say, you know me, ask me for help. If you don't feel safe, give me a call. Before you call 911, call your brethren. Like, that's what we need to get back to. I'm very on like the Malcolm X bandwagon when they're still on the Martin Luther King bandwagon, which I respect, but it has not changed.
So Karlos, so you Black Guns Matter, and I'm all with you in regards to supporting the Second Amendment. But I'm sure that the days, and I'm sure you would agree. I mean, you may not know being 24, but the days of the Black Panther Party and the right to bear arms being a black man, especially pointed at the police, is a little outdated. Those things definitely don't happen, especially from a Malcolm X perspective as well. So supporting, supporting, you know what I'm saying, a Black Guns Matter and saying shoot at me to shoot back. I mean, especially as a black male, I don't want to say that that's sending the wrong message, but is that like not putting a target on you to say I shoot back?
But no, I don't think that's not more of a target than just being driving while black. That there's not any more target. In fact, I believe in fact, in my personal life, it actually helps out. The police in my community know who I am because I'm involved in our gun rights laws and I'm involved in our community. I'm involved in my national, our gun range, our local gun range, which most of them go practice at. So they actually know who I am and they know what vehicle I drive. So I actually never get pulled over in the city of Seattle. What I run into is when I travel with my weapon and when I go fly with my weapon, that's when I start running into problems. And a lot of people have said that, like, you're putting more of a target on yourself. But I'm sorry, the target's already there. I'm just giving myself a way out of it. I want to go home too.
So let me ask a quick question. I'm gonna try to ask 2 questions. Well, first of all, what kind of weapon do you have? What do you carry, or do you have multiple?
I have a 9mm AR.
Okay. And so you talking about when you travel with your weapon, particularly in your vehicle, I'm certain at this point in your life you've seen the Philando Castile video. Can you share with me what Philando did wrong, what he did right, or what he could have done differently?
He did several things wrong. Okay, I'll let you know from a concealed weapon holder and as a black man, I'm gonna let you run down how I get pulled over by police. I drive a very luxurious car, so automatically when I'm not at home, it's bright red. I already know I'm gonna get pulled over. So I just got pulled over recently, and I was in Compton, California, of all places. We were in Compton. Got pulled over. I rolled down all of my windows. Every window that I can possibly roll down. I roll down my sunroof before the officer even pulls me over. As I'm getting pulled over when I see lights, I roll down all my windows. Now, I keep my handgun in a gun lock that's like secured into my car. So I got it professionally secured into my car. So only I have the keys to that gun lock. But it's within reach where if I would need it, but it's also out of sight of the police officers. Now, I also keep my license and my registrations in a separate envelope that's actually above my visor. So I'm not reaching for anything at any point. When they get there, my hands are on the steering wheel and they are there. Now, to answer your question, what Philando did wrong was, one, the only window he had rolled down was the driver's window. That's the number one mistake because you don't give them something to ask you to do. I know it fucking sucks, but as a black man, this is what I've had to do. And I went to college in Florida and I got pulled over every other day. And it's just something that I have to learn how to do after repetitiveness. Like, it's something that you learn to do. So that was step number one that he did wrong. Number two, the position of the officer, when you're a gun owner, the position of that officer was completely wrong. And I would have asked the officer to take my gun from me, because you could obviously see that he was afraid because he was in front of the vehicle, not behind the vehicle. Any gun owner knows you always want to be behind a gun if you think that that person has a gun, not in front of it, because bullets go forward, not backwards. Correct, guys?
Correct.
Right.
Following me? Yes. So if you look at that video, that police officer was right in front of the rearview mirror. No officer should never be there. Like, that's That's officer 101. Like they train you that when you purchase a gun. Like when you get pulled over, make sure the officer's behind you and let them know, officer, I have a concealed weapon. Would you please take that from my person? Would you allow me to take that? At that second. There was, now I'm not saying everything was Philando's fault, because that officer gave him like 2 seconds to be like, hey, I'm reaching for my ID. And then like, so the officer did everything wrong. But I also think that Philando could have done a couple of things maybe to help the officer maybe feel a little bit more at ease.
So Karlos, wait 1 second. And I want you to breathe, because to my 2/3 of the three black guys in the mic.
You said that.
Look, just because Karlos said it don't make it right. We haven't agreed that Karlos is correct yet.
Hey, my man. Hey. Hold up, Karlos. Hold up, Karlos. This is family business, so I just need you to give me a minute. We got to take care of this family business.
All right, y'all handle y'all business.
What I said is exactly what he said, which is wrong. But we as black men, I don't care if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're an atheist, if you believe in God, if you smoke weed or you don't, your job as a black man is to do everything that Karlos said, which the underlining factor is to make the officer feel comfortable. That's sad. That's the unfortunate issue. Whether you're in Compton, whether you're on 6 Mile with the hoes, whether you within Florida, your job to make, like he just said, he know the police. Y'all laugh at me because I play golf with the chief of police in my town because I want them to know me. But for those other clowns that don't know me, even without a firearm in the automobile, when and if I ever get pulled over in Bergen County, well, I have a car that takes care of that. But if I didn't, I still have to make the officer feel safe. Period.
I know one thing.
What?
You better start making folks on 6 Mile feel safe, because it's a problem.
Before you start driving by La Dolce Vita.
So Karlos, man, you go ahead, Spud. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll go ahead.
So Karlos, you mentioned you went to school in Florida. What college? Where'd you go to undergrad?
I went to school at the University of Florida. I majored in political science, minored in psychology. And yeah, that was a complete disaster, but it was just hard, man. Like I just to give you guys a little bit of background about myself. Like I said, I grew up in foster care, and I was adopted when I was 10. So I spent about a good 6 years in foster care in about 21 different foster homes within those 6 years. So I was adopted when I was 10 by this really, really wealthy white family in Allegan, Michigan, actually. And they showed me like a whole different side. My dad was actually like a pyramid schemer, and he had like prepaid legal, Zangza, like all those pyramid schemes. And he would actually work it and like teach me, like put my shoebox when you go to Walmart with your mom, take some of my business cards and put them in the shoe boxes at Walmart, so people when they get their shoes can see my business card, and like all like these little tricks of the trade. And he really taught me my how to be an entrepreneur. And the thing that went wrong, I had a great life. We went traveling, and I was with him until I was 14, and my mom had her firstborn. And then after that, literally, she had like 3 kids after that. And when I was 15, she looked at me and she's like, I don't need you anymore. You're too much. I'm tired of it. And my parents were actually getting threatened, and there was a lot because they were also Caucasian. So it was just always a lot of stuff. And then I was a kid from the hood, so I just had a whole nother set of problems that they were never prepared for, from taking a kid from the hood to like putting a kid in like private schools and gated communities. So it was just like a lot of terror. So they gave me back to the system, and the day that the social worker was supposed to come and get me, I ended up running away, and I didn't go back. I stayed on the street for 2 years, stayed in hotel rooms and just like hustled. And until I was 17, I got my GED, put myself through 2 years of community college, put myself through UF. And that's when I met my husband during that time. So he also has a big part of my life and where I am today, because honestly, without his support, I would never be able to do the things I do today. Like, I'm known for smoking pot, but like no person can go out and get a job and be like, oh yeah, I've seen you on like line. Weren't you online smoking weed? Like, I get recognized everywhere for smoking weed, like even in churches, because I didn't think about this aspect, but that video they're also playing that video about how the devil can get into the church and be the seed and sit with the members. And I didn't think about that aspect, but this coming to bite me back in the butt. But
So Carlos, let's get into
the,
the weed part of it, and how you and a rabbi and I guess what is it, Jewish
Catholic priest.
Catholic priest.
Catholic priest.
So how did that whole video, and if you guys have not seen it, you know, you definitely got to check it out because it's funny. You know, first of all, it's hilarious, and so I'm. How did that even come about that you three guys had the opportunity to sit down and smoke weed with each other?
So I'm part of a production company, and they always do castings. So they cast for like a real atheist, and then the only requirement is that you're willing to smoke weed. And then the other castings was for a real priest, and then also a real rabbi. The only thing is that you're willing to smoke weed. So they couldn't actually find a priest in the area, so they flew one in from LA. And the rabbi here is local. I forget his name, but he's here local in Kirkland. And he's really cool. They were both really cool guys, but we weren't allowed to meet until we actually were sitting down there. And then we did the filming, and that 8-minute video actually took about 4 hours. So there was a lot in there, especially like when I was kind of going off on them. I went on, like, as y'all can see, I can talk. So I went on for quite a while. So they did great editing. But I personally, I have different feelings from the video. Everyone says it's great video, but I think since I've seen other people do videos of my video and like critique it, it makes me feel differently about it. But I just try not to look at the comments or like look at the other videos.
So what was the backdrop of smoking weed? I mean, what was the purpose of getting a rabbi and a priest and an atheist to smoke weed with each other? I mean, why not just the dialogue? What was the weed part of it? How did that play into the part of the actual video?
So, because if you ever heard a joke, like a rabbi, a priest, and an atheist walks into a bar, what happens? So we were kind of going off that concept, but the rabbi actually wouldn't drink alcohol. And I'm an avid weed head. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do weed. So
I'll tell you what, the rabbi definitely took the weed because I was watching and the rabbi was like, yo, fire me up, homie.
Right.
Fire this up, right? Hey, yo, I think I went out right.
If you notice, he never, and I asked him after the shoot, he's gonna shoot me for saying this, but after the shoot, I said, you never actually lit it yourself. You always ask me or the priest to light it for you. And he goes, well, you know, it's honestly, in the Jewish religion, we're allowed to partake in festivities of others and others' cultures, but we're not allowed to enact it. So I was like, but that makes no sense. You still enact it by putting it in your body. So,
but there's a lot of people out. There's a lot of people out here who went to college who never could roll. So they just showed up when other people rolled for them. That's what the rabbi is trying to say.
Hey man, slow down, man. Slow down.
We got company, bro.
Hey, yo, he's the one that he brought it to the table.
I mean, did he slip you some weed and you started smoking before this episode?
Yeah, man. What's going on,
just
brother?
saying, people. There are lots of people who didn't roll. They couldn't roll.
And were you a roller, Maynard? Were you a roller?
No, I can't. No.
Look, I buy mine pre-rolls. See, this is the new generation. You just buy them like this. You don't even got to waste them. I don't have time. I'm an entrepreneur.
In Seattle, is the marijuana law legal there, recreational or medical?
Oh, it's recreational. It's really awesome. I actually just picked this up like 10 minutes ago, right around the corner. It's like you get 8 of these little blunts. It's $35. There's a gram of each. It's about like 35% THC purity. And I don't know. I love it. I just love you can walk the streets of Seattle, like at the march yesterday, we're just marching, smoking blunts right next to the police. And because it's just like, there's no reason to arrest us, but we have been running into issues with federal officers since Trump's been in office. They've been patrolling. And
because he's conservative.
You can go to jail.
That's because they're conservative. You breaking the rules on conservatism. So,
but that's your conservatism. My conservatism is be conservative and mind your business to conserve.
Mind your business.
Let me ask you this though. So do you regret your vote on Donald Trump?
Honestly, like I said, it doesn't matter because he was going to win regardless. Because like we all know, Russia happened. So he was going to win regardless.
You don't believe that Hillary Clinton had a chance nowhere?
No, because, honestly, in my heart of hearts, there was no way I was voting for her. There was no way. And I know my sister, there was no way she was voting for her. Like I grew up, I remember being 6 years old, watching the news and you being like, all black men are super predators. Like, I remember growing up and like just what your husband did and the guy who supported him, like what these people did to us. It was generational genocide. And I don't easily forget. And I think a lot of people in my generation didn't easily forget and either didn't show up to the polls Some of them voted for Bernie. That's why his numbers were higher than most expected. Or like,
whoa, stop! Flag on the play here, homie.
Yeah, because we got two flags, Maynard. First, you get your flag.
Okay,
then
so
you gotta give me my flag.
18 years ago, you were 6 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
The Super Predator line is from like 1994.
Okay, but but I'm saying I grew up and watched. I don't mean
they couldn't have replayed it.
Exactly. I grew up and watched it.
The fact that he knew about the Super Predator, hands down, trumps that already. You know no pun intended on the Trump.
Don't underestimate millennials. Everything that you guys don't think we don't see, they're replaying that stuff on Instagram. Like we were watching them reels, even if it's only a minute. They'll combine them and look at the whole Oprah episode in 1 minute clip.
Yeah, like, but Carlos, here's your other flag. And Spud, I need you to ask the initial question again because he did not answer. He did what we call the Maynard Scales dance.
Whoa. Don't put me in the middle of this.
Oh, no.
Carlos did not answer the question.
So I can answer it for you straight.
Spud, you remember the initial question?
I don't, but if you just jog my memory, I might be able to bring it back.
The initial question was, how did he feel about, well, now I'm paraphrasing. How did he feel about his vote for Donald J. Trump for president? Because he did.
I asked him if he regretted it. And he said
if he regretted it. There we go.
So he said that he didn't believe.
But that's not an answer. That's not an answer, Spud.
Okay, to answer your question, I don't care. Like I honestly don't care. That man was going to win, and like I said, he did more. He's probably going to do more to help me than Hillary was. That's all I have to say from what I was seeing.
But so you believe that he's going to believe? Why didn't he vote for Santa Claus, bro? Why didn't he vote for the Easter Bunny? If he didn't care about his vote.
I didn't say that I didn't care about my vote. I wasn't getting any options. I should have voted for the Easter Bunny.
So,
but I between those two candidates.
So this agenda that Trump has now, that you think you're probably going to do better under him than under Hillary or other parties, Bernie Sanders or what have you. What fruit have come from that at this point?
No fruit has come, but no fruit also has been taken from me personally.
So you're waiting on the taxes, basically. You're waiting for the tax reform.
Or to get arrested by the federal agents.
You were speaking to someone who literally has clawed his way from the bottom. I'm not waiting from no one. I don't give a fuck I don't care. Excuse me. I don't care. Easter, like you said.
Let it go, brother. Let it go. It's cool.
I don't care if the Easter Bunny, like you said, was the president. I'm still going to do everything I'm doing right now. I'm still going to be talking to you. Donald Trump getting into office did not stop me from talking to one of my favorite hosts on my podcast. That was initiative that I've done. That was me getting on videos. That was me getting my name out there. That was me just sending out emails, So that's how I look at life. Like he does not affect my daily life. And that's what people need to look at.
But you believe, I want to get the Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders / Donald Trump comparison. But in your mind and from a conservative perspective, from the way you are seeing it, Donald Trump can basically help you better with your business from a tax perspective than Bernie Sanders as well as Hillary Clinton would have. Yes,
but socially and politically, I don't think he would have. We still black, and we still gonna get treated like niggers. So like that's the end of the day. Like it hasn't changed, and it wasn't gonna change no matter who was president. Even if Hillary was president, we still would have the same race issues that we still have today. And it probably would be even worse because some Trump supporters would have been pissed off. So honestly, like if you look at it, right now is probably the best solution because if y'all already know race relations right now is messed up and they got what they wanted. Imagine if they didn't.
All right, so let's talk about homosexuality.
All right.
You grew up, obviously, as you said, you going from foster home to foster home, and you grew up you originally are from Detroit, or were you from somewhere else?
No, I was born in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Born in Detroit. And how did you kind of come to the idea that, I think I'm gay?
I always known. That's one thing I've been really thankful in my life is I don't have like a come out story. Like I said in the video, I would just always just caught sucking dick all the time. So
whoa,
Carlos, well, listen.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Spud, can we get a hard edit there, bro? Can we get a hard, no pun intended, can we get a hard edit, bro?
Oh, God.
sorry. I was flaciating.
There you go, Playboy. There you go.
I didn't go to college. I do have a degree, guys.
That's all right, brother. I'm with you.
Man.
All right, keep going. All right, keep going.
So like he said, "Give me a hard edit." Yeah. So that kind of like I've never had that. Like I've always hung out with girls. Like everyone's kind of accepted it. But speaking of that, like it's really hard now as an adult. I kind of regret that my family, like my birth family, because like my uncle was gay and my sister was gay and she was older than me. So like I was like the fourth one. So they're like, all right, we're used to this. So it was a little bit easier for me. But as an adult in the gay community and being Black, it is very difficult because we have no community. Like I can't. Like Black folks are usually really religious, and even if they're not religious,
when you
like
say we don't have any community, you're talking about the Black community or the Black gay community?
The Black gay community is real small.
No, we have no community because we're not accepted in the gay community. A lot of people don't know there is extreme racism in the gay community, like extreme, like even from like their dating profiles, they will literally be like, no Black men or Latinos accepted. Sorry, you're not attractive. And I'm like, that's a great, and I literally, when they hit me up and stuff and or used to hit me up and stuff and or sometimes they hit me up on Instagram and I would correct them like, oh, you're very attractive chocolate Cinnabon, and I'm like, you are
Cinnabon.
They will call you anything. They really will. And I'm like, you are objectifying a person, and that is absolutely not acceptable for one to do to any person. And for two, to add a color that like looks like my skin is also even more deeply objectifying to me as a person, you know? So that happens a lot in the gay community. And where are we to go? Because the Black community don't want us, because they called us fags and they did all that stuff. So, and they continue to do it. And the white community, honestly, they don't want us because and it's hard to explain if you're not a Black gay man, but if y'all out here listening, please email them, let them know this. Like, it's like an unspoken thing. Like you only go to the gay club on Sunday night because that's the only night that the Blacks are allowed.
But you know what, Carlos, and not to cut you off, but just 1 second. See, here's what I find this to be real interesting, because sometime on the show, you know, and I say this in fun, but there is a level of truth to it, is we talk about how in the homosexual community, you know, we call them kind of like the mafia. And when we say the mafia, we mean, or I know when I say this, it's a personal thing of, you know, those are people you don't mess with, you know, mm-hmm. and there's just kind of like this perception that if you're part, you know, because you'd be damned if you say anything bad about a homosexual, right? In America, in my opinion, of not being included in that community. And the way that it's perceived is that there's this cohesiveness, whether you're brown, white, you know, orange, whatever. If you're homosexual, then you are part of the mafia, and that everything is cool inside the mafia. And what you're saying to us now is that, you know,
that's
once you pull that,
there is a gay white mafia, of course. That's what that is. Like, let me let you know this. Okay, in the gay community, as far as like coming out, you know, there's a lot of undercover brothers. If you're masculine, feminine, or if you're like, you know, there's a lot of different adjectives that they use as far as how you express your sexuality. Now, as a white man, you can be flamboyant, you can be very conservative, you can be whatever you want, however you want to express your sexuality. But when you go into work in your suits, you're a white man. When you go to the club, you're a white man. They don't look at you as gay. They just look at you as a white man. It's vice versa when you're a Black man. So the difference is the gay mafia, like they hide behind their whiteness, because just because I'm gay does not mean that I'm not Black, because those people who are pro going to the Pride marches are the same people going to the Trump marches. And I've seen it firsthand. Like I have friends who are drag queens who are white, who are pro-Trump and like diehard pro-Trump. And I'm like, how can you be part of the gay community and like literally like be a diehard pro? Like, I know I said I voted for him, but like they're diehard, like build that wall, yeah, die Mexicans. And I'm like, whoa. They were just saying that to the gay community like 23 years ago. So like you got real bold, buddy. And so that's where like we don't have no place. We don't have no place. Like, where are we supposed to go?
So while going, you know, so you went through foster care, multiple locations. You never felt like you had to hide being homosexual. Did all your foster homes know that you were homosexual or that you leaned that way?
I was going through too much more physical abuse to be concerned about my sexuality at that point, to be honest.
And so in the fall,
it just wasn't.
Are you going somewhere with this line of questioning?
I'm trying to learn something about the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm just asking, are you going somewhere with this line of questioning? Because you typically go somewhere. You know, I'm just trying to see if you're trying to like. Oh, okay. I just wanted to see if
I'm trying to hit him with the boomerang setup.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hit him with the boomerang.
Episode, so I know the setups. I'm cool to your game.
Maynard, watch out, buddy. Watch out.
I don't know. Look, I got the word that Karlos that you were up on my game, so to speak. That you were prepared for me. I don't know what I've done, man. Check me. Tell me what I did that made you feel like, yeah, I'm gonna check Maynard when I hear from him.
Maynard, you know why? Because you are who I want to be. Because you say what you want to say. Usually you have the information to back it up to a certain extent. And even if you don't, you just stick to your guns. And that's who I am. And that's what I adore about people. Like, say what you mean what you say, don't piddle paddle, and get to the point. And if you're wrong, you'll say you're wrong, but that's still your beliefs. And I've heard you say that time and time again. Yeah, you might be right, but this is what I believe in, you know? And that's just kind of why but that's how I also butt heads with people. And that's why I'm an entrepreneur, because I just stick to my guns. So I just knew if we disagreed on something, you don't stick to your guns, I'm going to stick to my guns. But it's all respect.
So let me ask you this in regards to the atheist part. And you just gave him the ego out of this world, so I really hate that you did that.
Oh,
yes.
Man, come on.
Now we're not going to live that down for the next 7 podcasts. Right. But let's dive into, to the atheist part of it. So as the conservative gay atheist, so what... In regard, so you believe in Scientology? You believe in science?
The black conservative gay atheist.
The black conservative gay
throw
atheist.
That in there.
Right, the black part. So you just don't believe in Jesus, or do you not believe in God? Tell me.
I don't believe in anything that I can't do myself. Does that make sense?
So you don't believe that Jesus is your friend? You don't believe you got a friend in Jesus?
I've been mutilized, sodomized, raped, and beaten my entire childhood. They're like, bruh, I've asked for him. I begged for him. I changed religions as a 10-year-old. I went from Catholic to Baptist to everything. Like, to me, the only person who had my back was me. And I've even told my husband that. I said, you know what, babes, I like you. I don't love you. Love will get you killed. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna watch out for me, and I expect you to do the same. And I think that's why I think that's why I've been married for 6 years, or we've been married for 2 years legally, but we've been domestic partner for 4 years, but that's just the law. But that's why we stuck together, because he knows my honest belief, I'm gonna have my back at all times. I don't care about you. I don't care about the next person. So I am my own God. And if you look at religion, it's literally what it says. Like, he made us in your image, so he made you a God. So if you want to get hooty-tooty and religious, just everything they say in there, just put it in yourself. To answer your question.
He came at your Jesus, Spud.
And I was going to say...
I just asked him what he believes in. That's all.
Lamont.
He didn't come at no Jesus. That was a very good answer in what he believes.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll say. But here's what I'll say, and this is to Karlos or anybody else, is that I look at his perspective just like chitlins. And
whoa,
right?
It's just like chitlins.
Ding, bro. Penalty box. Go back in the penalty box and come with a new one.
The dirty innards of a ranch animal.
No. Hold on. Let me do this now. This is my podcast now. Hold on, Playboy. Is that I love my grandmother and my grandfather, and they like chitlins. They eat chitlins. They think, in the black community, I think it's supposed to be on New Year's Eve. They're supposed to make chitlins, but I don't believe in it. And I just have to respect them in their position. And and that's pretty much it, bro. It's like everybody has to have their position. I don't agree with what he said at all, because what I believe is that first and foremost is that the white man ain't that smart. And when I say he's not that smart, is that, this happened to me years ago when I was on an airplane. And when you look out the window in an airplane and you look at the sky and you look at just so many other different things on this planet, but I think that there's a power that's higher than all of us that created this. I mean, it's still amazing to me how, there are how many people on this planet? Is it how many? Is it billion? Maynard?
Seven
Carl?
to
But
8
how
million.
many billions of people have come and died wondering that?
No, watch this. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me finish. And I'll let you have it after this. Out of all of the billions of people that's on this planet, it's just so amazing to me is that there's no two people that are the same. Like who designed that? Like who created all of the animals on the planet or all of the fish and the other living organisms in the sea? And again, we can get all really deep and all of that, but I'm just saying, like, I have a different opinion, and I think we are all definitely on this podcast. We're in a place where we can disagree and still love on each other, not physically, but literally. We can still talk to each other and we can communicate with each other, and it still be all good.
Yeah,
because
I agree with that.
Yes,
and go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like chitlins, bro. Because I don't know. Do you eat chitlins? You smoke a little weed, so I didn't know if you ate a chitlin or not. You put a little hot sauce on there, Playboy, with a little beans and coleslaw.
I'm on a plant-based diet, so I shy away from meat. But when I eat meat, I eat fish or chicken breast. So I don't.
But no chitlins.
Good for you.
No,
plant-based diet, Lamont. Plant-based diet, Lamont.
But no. But he still didn't answer the question. That's the second time he did that to us. Is that you asked him a question?
Answered the question indirectly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's good. He's good at that.
I went to school for political science. I'm supposed to be good for that.
So
yeah, somebody is really liking themselves too, right?
No, he does sound like Kellyanne, Maynard. You know what I mean?
He said he got some Schmitty-Ann happening.
Yeah, he sounds like Kellyanne a little bit.
You know what? You might call me some Kellyanne, but I sure don't look like her. She looks like a gargoyle. I'm sorry.
Whoa. That's my neighbor, bro. That's my neighbor. I see her at the Whole Foods. Hold on now. Let's be nice.
Yo, you better be careful, my dude. I know you from Detroit, but she's from Camden, yo. Camden is...
So Karlos, what are some of the things that are going on, that are the challenges that are going on in, Seattle and on the West Coast? I know that, offline, you and I kind of talked about some of the things in regards to, the weed and, the guns and so forth and so on. What are some of the things that are going on that are challenges for the black community and the black gay community? I'll put that in there as well, that are going on in Seattle.
Well, Seattle as a whole just has a housing problem right now because luckily we've grown so much because of the weed industry. People are flocking here to get recreational weed, so it's a perfect thing, but it's also inflammation of housing. So with that being said, is you have communities like Renton and Rainier and Kent that used to be like prospering African-American communities, which were actually still about 20 to 30 minutes south of the city. So they've already been pushed out like the major like suburb area. They've been pushed even further away, like further south. So they have to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So this is increasing drug crime, police violence. Like if you guys are watching the news, like police officers are getting shot, or getting stabbed, or it's just causing a lot of friction. And it makes sense. Yesterday I was talking to this one black gentleman. He's actually from Kent, and he was just saying like he's a Marxist. Is it a Marxist? It's like old communist. He was talking like some old communist stuff yesterday at the march. And he was just like, we're going to steal from the rich to get back to our community. And if you're not about that, we'll steal from you. And I was like, whoa, buddy, like that's not how you fix stuff. Like, because if you steal from me, you end up dead. So that's how the white man looks at you too. That's why you end up dying. So you have to protect yourself, but don't go around like starting fights. And that's literally what's happening here in Seattle. So with the black community now, to get deeper into that, you have the black gay community, which is kind of like I said, it's in a pool. I don't know if you know a lot of homosexual men, but we tend to like have better jobs and do more extravagant things if you can afford it or not. Some of them can't because they shouldn't be doing it, but we tend to do more extravagant things. So people look at us and they're like, oh, well, I want to do that too, and I want to do that too. And then the African in that white community or the black community, like, oh, you're white or you're whitewashed. I was like, no, I just like to go on yachts and I like to fly with like, because I live right next to like Boeing and Microsoft, and Bill Gates lives like 23 minutes away from me. So like I live around influential people. So I like to get like rub shoulders. So if I rub, like, how are you coming down on me for rubbing shoulders and just trying to get there? Am I whitewashed? No, but it sure does help to know some of these successful people, So that's how
So
it's
you talked
difficult in the
earlier
gay
about,
community
so
being
you're a
black.
supporter of the Second Amendment, and and we talked offline about the, I'm saying, the black gun licensing in America,
Yeah.
and so forth and so on. And so you believe that black men should basically own guns.
I believe that every American should own guns, not just black people, but they definitely should now in this day and age. But every American should own guns.
Even though, black men kill black men. I mean, I don't know if you saw, I forgot this documentary. God, what is it called? It's something, it was on Showtime, and they were talking about, just about the guns, and, especially like the gun violence that goes on in Chicago, and how they can literally go like right across the state line to Indiana, pick up a gun and then come back. And then, the gun violence that is going on. I mean, don't you think that black men who own guns are only increasing more violence in black communities?
Let me ask you this. Do you know a black man that owns a gun that's violent? Because I don't.
Yeah, I do. I know plenty of black men who own guns that are violent.
Okay, so why? You have to dig deeper. Where did they come from? That you can't just blame being black and owning a gun, and that's my biggest issue. People look at me and they're like, "Oh, he's a thug." No, I'm not. I'm a college-educated man with my concealed gun license. Now you said there are black men who are thugs, and there are also a black men who own guns, and for some reason it just gets mixed and we just get blended into together. Why can't those thugs register those guns? Because they're usually felons and they're legally not allowed to have guns. That's also unfair, but that's a whole nother issue for a whole nother podcast. But that my issue is that I believe everyone should legally go and register for a gun because they just don't give you a gun. What's
the purpose behind that? I mean, what's the what's the reason why you believe all people should own a gun in America? To protect themselves from what?
So I lived in Seattle for a total of almost 936 days, so almost 4 years. And I've been attacked 4 times, shot at twice. My husband had his skull fractured. I was bitten and I had to get an AIDS preventative because it was by a crackhead. These, mind you, are some by white, black, and his Latino. So I had the whole mixture. Before then, I didn't believe in guns. I didn't believe in anything. I just thought that, like you said, call 911. Every time we got robbed or attacked, it took more than 24 minutes for the police to come. More than 24 minutes. I'm tired of getting robbed. Ask me how many times I've been robbed since January, and that's when I purchased my gun and became a legal holder.
Hold on. Was this like that for you when you were in Florida as well?
As far as being robbed, no. We did run into a lot of race incidents where we've had like beer thrown at us at the club, or like rocks thrown at us at the bar and stuff like that, but not like attacked by strangers. Because
instead of a gun, maybe you need a good realtor. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out.
But listen. You just said Florida. I've lived in Detroit. I've lived in Florida. I now live in Washington. Where am I supposed to go? I've been saying this whole podcast. Black gay men have no place to go. I came to Seattle because it was supposed to be the land of the gay man. I was proven incorrect.
So Karlos, whoa. So Karlos, let me ask you a question, and I need you to dispel another myth, I guess. So Atlanta is not the town for a homosexual African-American male?
I've been to Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. But a lot of my friends who live in Atlanta fall into like the what is the name? I don't know. I don't want to offend nobody, but
you've already done that.
Yeah. That was 20 minutes ago, play. Listen, let your hair down. Go ahead, just let it out, brother.
My dude, go with.
They just like Jiminy Cricket's just like, yes, I'm a fag, and that's just what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna like.
So they're flaming. They're more flaming in Atlanta, is what you're saying.
Not flaming, like they are on fire, and you express yourself. Express yourself. I believe in expression. I believe if you want, and there are people who've done it. Patrick Starr. There are a lot of other makeup artists who have done it and who've been themselves, who've done it, and I commend that. But most of them niggas out here aren't doing it. Sorry, they are out here going to the club Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. They credit are horrible. They don't even know what credit is. They can't even spell credit. Like, that's my problem with Atlanta. Is it could be a token of Black gayness and in a positive light, but we all know it's not.
So, there's a lot that you've used a word multiple times, entrepreneur. And in preparing for this, I started to follow you a little bit to find out more. Tell us, because I heard you singing the Bruno Mars song. I've seen you do a few other things. Tell us a little bit about, your acting and singing and modeling and all that.
So I don't really consider myself an actor or anything. I do mostly commercial. So I do locally. I do like a lot of like casino commercials, and then a lot of skits. Cut.com actually is who did the Priest video. I have like 10 or 15 videos by them. But as an entrepreneur, what I do is I have my hands dabbled in everything. I also do real estate. My husband's he manages a couple of our properties. And then I also, like I said, I do the commercial acting. I also have a dog line that I started that we're actually going to be in New York Fashion Week in September. And I don't know if have you looked at my dog line? It's amazing.
No, but I did see the cannabis weed T-shirt line.
Yeah, well, my that was also like that was literally it kind of died down now. But when the video was hot, I made about like $2,000 in 4 days just selling T-shirts on Etsy. Like it was hot. We had about 100 million views in a 7-day period. So I was like, I'm gonna jump on that gravy train and start selling these T-shirts. So, but no, I have an animal company. It's a custom pet apparel company called Albert Grayson. And what it is we customize your pet apparel with your apparel. So like when you walk on the runway or like your wedding, I do a lot of weddings. So your dog can match your dress or your tuxedo. And we have like celebrity clients like Cash Doll, Fortune Femster, and a couple other people. But yeah, like as an entrepreneur, you have to have your hand in a little bit of everything. Now, selling Fit Tummy Tea and Zanga and Herbalife on Instagram, you're not an entrepreneur. That is not your product. You just gotta make it.
Leave them Instagram models alone, man. Let them sell that flat tummy tea out there, man. Let them get a check for that.
It's a day off. They become like, you want to start your own business? I'm like, do you know how hard it is to actually start a business? Like, you just don't just download and pay somebody $200. Like, no, it takes a lot of effort. It's
Karlos, we truly appreciate you taking the time out, and we've definitely enjoyed you being on. We gotta have you back, man. We gotta have you back.
We really appreciate that you drove from Florida to Washington and listened to 16 hours of 3 black guys in the mic. That's what's up.
No, you're welcome. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to speak to you guys. Like I said, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and if you would like to, if you have any questions, anything, just hit me up. I would love to come back on again.
Definitely, man. That's definitely. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so very much for boosting Maynard's ego as well. We're not gonna live that down. So I truly appreciate it, man. You enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you so very much.
All right, sir. I know.
Right. It is that time of the week again. We didn't do a cactus last week.
We didn't do a cactus,
but
we did.
It is now time for Maynard's Cactus of the Week. You know what that means? When somebody says something stupid and they got to choke on the words that they said. Maynard, who are you giving the cactus to? The cactus.
Well, let's talk about something
to Rob
real quick.
Kardashian or Black China?
Rob Kardashian is cactus worthy right now. Rob Kardashian is What did T.I. do that's cactus worthy?
T.I. got in on the conversation, man. T.I. wasn't minding his own business. T.I. was like, you didn't see the T.I. part? Where T.I. was like, yo, you really looking like a sucker out here, which he was right. I mean.
He's true.
Like,
that's
you really looking like a sucker. And then Rob clapped back and was like, listen, why you want to stick your nose in other people's business and you ain't telling nobody that you paid Black China to have a threesome with you and Tiny? Shut that down.
But and then you know what T.I. might need in his life? A little Karlos Dillard. Mind joke can be conservative. Little Karlos Dillard be conservative. But nah, really, I'm gonna change up real quick and step in and mind somebody else's business. Why is 50 Cent dissing Jay-Z? Why is he saying the 444 album is like some golf club music? Lamont, sir, please, can you help me? 50 Cent has a platinum album last year.
Yes.
No.
50 Cent? No.
And I think if we talk about worldwide numbers, we can give him. I can give him $1 million. Yes.
What was the name of that album?
Google.
I
What
don't.
was the last 50 Cent platinum album?
Siri or Alexa.
Right.
Alexa.
So he's gonna go and shoot at Jay and say, you know, he could have kept that. It was like some golf course music, golf club music. Because 50, when are you gonna rise above the game and become an elder? Is he on that level? Can he be like that? Dude, you know, first of all, open your mouth and talk a little bit and take this cactus to the throat. Because I'm feeling you on Power. Power's dope. Some of your old music, dope. Shooting at Jay, it's not even worth it, my dude. Stop. Just stop. Just kill yourself. Because you're whack when you come at Jay like that. Jay didn't, number one, he didn't come at you. Number two, the people that he did come at on the album, it was like an elder statesman saying, hey, yo, dude, I need to just, I ain't trying to diss you. I'm just trying to check you and let you know, man, this right here, this ain't a good look. Like he came at Future and said, hey, man, I just, I learned some things out here. I want you to, to learn what I learned. I'm just saying that's not a good look. Take care of your family. Would Jay say, how can a man be rich without his family? So he was just trying to give Future some jewels to run with. But here comes 50.
Can I? I'm sorry to interrupt you because I missed the Future part. So I knew where he was saying in one of the Jay's lyrics where he was saying, what do I look like years from now? With my son playing football,
throwing the football with another man.
So was that was the shot that he took at Future? I thought that was just a blanket comment.
No, it was definitely directed to Future because he said Future and he said football. We talking about Sierra with Russell Wilson and it's all good, but I still don't feel like it was a straight diss. It was like hey yo, don't swerve, homie. I'm just letting you know a man needs his family. And so don't miss an opportunity. They're diss records. You know what I'm saying? When Tupac came on and hit him up and says, I bust your wife. I mean, that's not really two ways to look at that.
It's only one way to look at that.
Really? I mean, theoretically speaking, he said he bust your wife. I mean,
right.
But that's not how he came at. That's not how he came at Future. He said, listen, man. You need to, just be level-headed out here in this game. Everybody knows that the Future Sierra breakup had there was a little bit of stuff going on, a little contentious, activity happening. And so he was just saying, hey, man, I need you to be cautious in these streets. He checked Ye. $20 million to make you want to check a so-and-so as well, a ninja. And he checked a couple of the other cats out here talking about all the Dracos they got in the video and they ain't gonna necessarily bust. And he checked us all just to let us know, you could be, broke us or rich him. Which would you prefer? So he's just trying to give us something to grow with. 50, nobody asked you for your opinion. In fact, nobody asked you for your opinion. It wasn't a reporter who asked you. You didn't get a phone call. You just going to Instagram your own video out, YouTube your own video out. Nobody asked you. Take some Cactus. But I am going to watch, next week's episode of Power. I ain't lying.
We want Ghost to be
Power
free.
is dope. Power is dope. I had to go back and reorder stars just so I could have Power. I ain't bootlegging.
But you know what, Maynard? I think we all know that age does not necessarily mean that you have a certain level of wisdom. And I think we have to understand that Curtis. has been a clown since day one. So just because Curtis has gotten a little older and got a little bit more, money, and you're right, the last record was in 2009 that went worldwide with over 1 million copies. Animal Ambition, excuse me. In 2014, we don't even want to say what it did.
It went wood.
He could have bought more copies, but
I think it went concrete.
That was the one that him and Steve Stout got into about, right?
Yes. But I just want to say this about Curtis is like.
But here's a better question, though, Lamont. I'm sorry to cut you off. But was that better for him because Animal Ambition was independent? It wasn't on a label, so it was independent. So was that better for him?
It still doesn't matter when your first one out the gate does what it does. So everything else is considered to be.
He did have the machine behind him. Would get rich
Listen,
guy trying.
We can use all of the excuses in the world, but at the end of the day, when you come out in a space that he came out in the beginning, everyone either expects for you to come at that level or to surpass that level, correct?
True.
And anything else that falls below that, no matter how financially it may be, from the perspective of the people or the general public, it's considered a failure.
Okay.
Period. So, and then I'm gotta say this, and I'm done. All of this whole power talk. Listen, man, Curtis, you need to get your game together, bro, because I saw the first episode of Snowfall, and one of them boys that really makes movies and television shows, you in trouble, player. I'm getting ready to cancel my Stars subscription. You know what I'm saying? As long as I got FX, I'm good. So while everybody's hollering stars, and power, yo, I'm just telling you. Get on your app and Curtis know what I'm talking about.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
To me, man. I mean,
what?
I understand. I got you. I see you, John Singleton. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, John Singleton. But John Singleton,
that's what he
speaking
does.
of, you know what I'm saying? When was the last time John Singleton had a hit movie?
I hear you. I'm gonna say it again. Go to your little iTunes store, your Google Play, and download your little FX app and watch that first episode of Snowfall. See what that boy doing. Right? That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
I'm gonna do that, but I don't care what nobody say. Power is the best thing on TV since The Wire. Period.
It was 2 years ago. I'm with you, but now
it's
like
this is the best season.
Stop.
Listen, man. The
So
only thing
far
I
the
don't like
season's
about the only thing I don't like about Power is that it's not 2 hours long. That's the only thing. I don't want to watch this week's episode just so I can miss it, so I can watch 2 hours. I'll be looking at I be hitting the info thing on the remote to see how much time I got left. I be wanting to slow the shit down.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's whack. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody's like, okay, probably the next week or two, Ghost will be out of jail.
Listen, everybody, Facebook.com/3blackguys with a mic. You can go off on Lamont. Talk about Power is whack.
It's whack. Power has whack juice on it, and he knows it.
All right. What
he knows it.
You know how they do sometimes, Maynard, when you go to a bar or a club and they accidentally put Absolute in the Kettle One bottles? I think they put Absolute in the Kettle One bottle.
Oh, you got the vouchers, Lamont. You got the free family vouchers.
One time, shout out to Tidal. We working on some things.
You got the
we
free
work.
family vouchers.
We working on it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. We've been talking way too long. And we will talk to y'all again next Tuesday.
Way too tough.
Y'all have a great week.
Peace.